less suffering than like chicken. I think we probably have to lower our consumption of chicken. In reality,
and our chicken consumption has only increased, whereas our beef consumption actually has decreased.
Because people think that chicken is better, but more suffering, more death. It's just, I'm not saying we shouldn't eat chicken. And there is actually people doing Big Bluff Ranch where we're getting the chicken from the restaurant, doing the right thing. But I'm saying we should eat less chicken. Every time you eat an organic chicken's like this big, you could eat the whole thing in one seating. People go, my cooks keep going, can you get bigger organic chicken? No, this is the size. They're not big when they're organic. So organic chicken, you're going to eat that. Your family can maybe feed the whole family one chicken. It's a very small amount of meat, and that's one sentient being. A cow can feed the family for a year. So if that's really the vegan's concern of how much death, then you would only eat beef.
So true. And so it's like
people do not like this.
People don't like it. Yeah.
But and then people say, well, what about, no, because of crop death and because they're eating corn and soy. No, I'm saying grass-fed, grass-finished, on pasture. And lots of people are doing grass-fed, grass-finished, on pasture. This is not, we're not talking about, oh, you can't feed the world like this. Well, no, you actually can. All of our beef is going the first 15 months, the first 10 months, the first 19 months, depending on grass. They're saying there's not enough room for regenerative agriculture. Based on what? Literally all of our beef is on grass. You can't afford, nobody can afford to feed a cow from the time it's born until people say, oh, well, you're taking the babies away from the mom. That's actually a dairy thing. Beef farmers keep the cow with the mom for as long as the mom will breastfeed. The beef farmer wants that cow drinking breast milk. So the other thing is, when you're eating beef, you're eating a cow that was likely breastfed for 9 months to a year, longer than the average child.
Wow.
In America, at least.
So interesting. Yeah, I mean, I thought beef is like, sometimes you hear sticklers to like the, beef quality and how they make that's the sole thing. But I love the nuance that even a factory, that you said that even factory farmed beef, while the factory farm system is abhorrent, and at scale, and it's like, doing all kinds of nasty things to the environment, and it's not the ideal situation for the cow from an animal welfare perspective, it still yields a highly nutrient dense food. And
I'm saying, if you're out and you're looking at a menu and you're like, there's farm raised salmon, there's chicken, and there's beef, what I'm saying is that the beef is the least suffering. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying if really the least suffering is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Then that's that. And it's not a popular opinion. And I sound crazy because it's coming from a vegetarian who I dedicated my life to this. I owned like one of the most popular vegan restaurants in Los Angeles.
Well, if anything, the fact that you don't even eat it and you're advocating for it, I think makes you more trustworthy.
I said this to a woman that was crying in the restaurant. She's like, I can't trust you. I said, consider how much evidence I've had to have been presented with and seen to come from where you're sitting to where I am right now. So much evidence.
Yeah.
People are like, show me your evidence. Show me this. I mean, we're talking, people are on my phone just like constantly, show me the evidence. I'll send you studies or whatever. But I'm talking about years of just watching soil just come alive from cows being on it, watching my kids' teeth, the younger ones that have less vegan diet have straighter teeth, like it's straight Weston A. Price. Like, I mean,
I love that.
It's so obvious. And the most obvious thing, I tell this story a lot. I'm sitting there with my third child breastfeeding him, and we have a cow, Una, and her udder's like this big, and her calf is only sucking on 2 quadrants, and we're milking the excess milk because cows are made now to make the jerseys, or they're made to make a lot of milk, right? More than just for the baby. And so I'm milking off the cow into the gutter. I'm breastfeeding my child. I'm like, this is liquid gold. Oh, And then I'm like feeding my older kids oat milk from Costco in a Tetra pack with fucking glyphosates and seed oils. And I'm like, wait, if my milk is the perfect God's creation with all the microbiology for the environment that I'm in, well, then that milk is also God's creation with all the microbiology from the environment that my kids live in. And all of a sudden I'm like, no more milk in a box. And my kids are crying because you know how much sugar? It took a long time to get my kids to get, now they love raw milk, but it took some time to get them onto the raw milk program because organic oat milk, organic soy milk, organic almond milk, they all have sugar in them.
Oh, yeah. And emulsifiers and
all types of nar. And so that was like one of those, and I'm like, why am I? And then people would be like, I'd be at the restaurant and people were like, I saw you guys, oh yeah, well, we're drinking a little of the milk from the cow. There's more, we let the calf have it. But then I'm like, what am I even explaining this to people? Like, oh, the chickens just leave the eggs, so we think we should eat them. And the people at the restaurant would tell me, at the place that I work, like the animal rescue, they boil them and give them back to the chickens. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, I'll consider that. But it's like a perfect food. Like an egg is such a perfect food.
Such a perfect food.
And in a world, I have 5 children. At that time, I had 4 restaurants, 2 farms. I now have 2 restaurants and 2 farms. But it's really hard to feed your kids healthy food. An egg is the ultimate like snack that's so easy to do. I can hard boil eggs and they'll eat those, and I can fry an egg, a toad in the hole, the bread with the egg in the hole.
It's a cognitive multivitamin, especially for children whose brains are under development. Like you don't get a more perfect food.
And so the idea, and then I'm like justifying it to people. Well, the chickens just, and so I was never a secret about what was going on at my house, but I was feeling like I had to justify these things. But no, my kids all eat eggs. My kids all eat raw milk. Raw kefir, raw kefir with maple syrup is the.
I've never tried that. You just combine kefir. Kefir's fermented milk, right?
Kefir is like a cultured milk, different than yogurt, with far more microbiology.
Oh, interesting.
But it's interesting. We've been getting it here, like at the store, raw from the raw farm, because we're here in LA right now. And the one that we make is so much more sour. The kids are like, this tastes like yogurt. It's not sour like kefir. But yeah, we do kefir. We do smoothies with honey and strawberries and kefir or yogurt every day. So, but it's hard to feed your kids healthy food. And then it's hard to grow food that you can trust. So I know I can trust what's going into my cows. So therefore I can trust what's coming out of my cows. And we grow fruit through the summertime, and I freeze it all winter. And I think it's great food. And eggs they're prolific. And imagine I'm turning stuff that's going to get rendered into soap or makeup or I don't know what into chicken eggs that my kids are eating. It's a miracle.
Like the throwaway parts of the cow that your chickens are now eating. Yeah. Wow.
Hey, if you liked that video, you need to check out this one here, and I'll see you there.